Hey babes, welcome back to another episode of She's Lost Her Mind. Grab your laundry, let's get to fucking folding. Today we're going to talk about how I navigated this election season with my family. I know that I saw a lot of Democrats cutting off their conservative family members, and I can't do that because somebody is going to have to quit their job if oh my god, if Donald Trump makes it legal for them to discriminate against children like my son and cut his programs if schools are privatized. So that's going to have to be my mom, I guess. I got this little message on TikTok. This lady was like, remember, it's all a fugazi. I don't know how you say it because I heard it pronounced two different ways. I searched what it meant because I'm from the Midwest. We don't say that. I have never heard of that before in my life. I did see that it was on the Wolf of Wall Street. Let me just tell you this. I one time dated this guy whose mom was a private chef in LA, and she told me awful things about Leonardo DiCaprio. Fuck that guy, dude. I don't give a shit. Okay, tangent. Don't even need to go there. Anyway, Fugazi. Fugazi. When I searched that word, the meaning of it, I found this lady that looked like the nanny, and it was her New York talk word of the day. She said that New York English is just not like regular English, and that's just how it is. She gave the definition of fake, false, counterfeit. I also kind of got the impression that it could mean like cheap. But she won me over when she said, restaurants that don't put bread out on the table, fugazi. And I was like, yes, girl, bring me my fucking bread. I'm hungry. Elise DeLucci. I believe anything that came out of that woman's mouth. She was hilarious. I feel like elections anymore, they're all fugazi. Or I know this one had a lot more on the line than, past elections. Trust me, I'm feeling that with you. But in the words of my parents, they just drill baby drill. That's what they have in their brains. They think that they've lived through a lot of administrations in the past, and so a lot of these extreme viewpoints don't usually go through, and America always stands is their viewpoint on it. And I have to respect that because that's what America is, I guess. I hate it. I'm going to take a little note from Jack Schlossberg and AOC and kind of just say, I don't think you're an idiot. I don't think any of that. I got my knee stuck in my banister a couple days ago, and I was stuck as fuck. I was so scared. I was not even by my phone. How was I going to get out of there? Who was going to find me? How many days would I be there? I was terrified, you guys. I can't even begin to describe. I did obviously get free. I didn't need to call the fire department or anything crazy like that. But I was scared that I was going to have to. So I'm not calling anyone stupid. Who the fuck am I to judge? I just pulled a fucking idiot move. So, Republicans, you guys can make up your own fucking thing that you think of to make fun of us, to get you through the holidays of having to deal with us. Is what it is, okay? But this is for my fellow Democrats. Democrats, this is what I tell myself when my family's saying things that I just can't even get behind or fathom or process, and I just want to be like, shut the fuck up. In my brain, I think to myself, Republicans' biggest fear is the whole plot of a 1992 Rodney Dangerfield movie. the the Ladybugs. It's about a soccer team. Um, I can't remember the whole plot, but I used to watch it all the time when I was little, and we bought it from Blockbuster. So it was like the yellow tape, the yellow VHS tape. Oh, nostalgia. Anyway, so I used to watch this movie, and if I remember correctly, it was Matthew Lawrence, and he went from Matthew, and they dressed him up and made him Martha so he could play on the girls' soccer team. I don't know why he didn't play on the boys' team. I'm not really sure. But all the biggest fears, well, he doesn't assault anybody, but he does fall in love with one of his teammates. So anyway, Republican propaganda just took a story from Rodney Dangerfield. Said this is what's happening to your youth, to boys and women's sports. They're coming out of nowhere, dressing up as girls so they can succeed. Yeah. Anyway, that made me laugh because their biggest fears was my childhood entertainment. Okay. That movie is so wildly inappropriate, probably now. I do think it's important to recognize that, you know, obviously this doesn't go for everybody. I chose not to cut my family off. I do understand that they voted against a lot of things that benefit me. Um, but I don't think that they think of it that way, and I don't think that they think that a lot of things will go through. My parents are Gen X, so they're very like lackadaisical. They're just like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. It always is. One thing that I did find very interesting on AOC's TikTok and Instagram stories, she asked everybody like why they voted the way they did, why they voted for her and Donald Trump because that was a popular ballot choice in New York, I guess, just all the things, right? And I like how those two specifically are coming at this, her and Jack Schlossberg. If you don't know who Jack Schlossberg is, he got hired on as like the political consultant at Vogue, and he is JFK's grandson, and he's hot. Yeah, the Kennedy charm did not disappoint. I like that they're coming from at it from the approach of like, we don't think you're dumb. We just want to know like, where do you get your news from? Like, what do you? Well, that was AOC. She did this whole questionnaire on her Instagram stories where she was answering questions from a very like non-biased standpoint of just wanting to understand. And Jack Schlossberg just was like, I don't think you guys are dumb. I just appreciate everybody that participates in politics. He's like, I, love politics. I wish I didn't. Fucking same. I hate that I love politics and then I obsess over it. So he just was like, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for participating in politics. I just thought that was a good message. And I think that's important to remember is that not everybody who voted for Trump voted for all of his extreme policies. And that was hard for me to get over because, like, my mom, I don't want to put her views on blast, I guess. So I don't, whatever. But she does support women and she is conservative. It's important to remember, I think, sometimes that people's views aren't always black and white, even though I don't understand that. That's how our country works. We are allowed to think that way, I guess. But, um, yeah. So maybe I'm just feeling a little nostalgic. I cried it out yesterday morning, like sobbing tears, big old crocodile tears. They had a clip on Instagram Reels. Somebody posted Margaret Hamilton on fucking Mr. Rogers. Margaret Hamilton played the Wicked Witch of the West. For those of you who don't, were Wizard of Oz nerds when they were growing up. She was putting on the costume because they were talking about how kids were scared and it's okay. It's just like a Halloween costume, and she's putting it on over her dress, and they're showing it as like a fun thing. You can wear a costume too, blah, 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 blah. And then she did the accent, and it was just, I don't know, something about it was so nostalgic. I don't really cry very often, but I don't cry about my own problems. I just cry about Margaret Hamilton and Mr. Rogers. I'm a stan for the Wicked Witch of the West. I always have been. When I was a kid, I told my mom I wanted to be the Wizard of Oz, and she thought that I was going to want to be Dorothy. And I was like, hell nah. I want to be the Wicked Witch of the West. And I want you to paint me green. Because let's just look at it from a logical standpoint here. Some bitch came out of the sky, dropped a house on her sister, took her sister's shoes, which were so near and dear to her heart, and you just expect the Wicked Witch of the West to not have beef? Go fuck yourself. I always thought that was so fucking weird, and I don't understand how nobody else felt that way. Fuck Dorothy, dude. Well, Dorothy didn't really know. This all goes back to Glinda. She's the fucking mean girl. And you know what? If you guys are like, wow, that's wicked or something, I only know what I learned on TikTok because I'm uncultured swine, okay? I'm from the Midwest. I don't go to Broadway shows. We don't have Broadway here. We have off-brand Broadway, but I don't even go to those, okay? So, I'm excited to see Wicked. But I think Glinda's a mean girl. Don't comment and just fucking ruin it for me, okay? And by the way, if you enjoy this podcast, please share it with your friends. That helps me the most in the algorithm. Even if you just don't actually send it to anybody, just click the share button. Just psych it out. Psych. Yeah, so maybe I'm feeling a little nostalgic because I also set up my ofrenda as of late because I've just been really struggling and I'm not, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with religion because I just do. That's none of your business, bitches. We'll talk about it maybe a different time. I don't know why I just got so defensive. I set up an ofrenda, and for those of you who don't know, it's where you put pictures of your relatives who have passed to keep their memory alive, and it keeps them alive in the afterlife. It's our culture. No, it's been a really spiritual experience, and this is when I was really mad, and I would text my mom and get really angry, and then she would get me and say things like, it's all right, you can say these things to me because that's how I know I'm the safe parent. You wouldn't say these things if you were scared that I was going to abandon you. Get fucked, Stacy. Oh, by the way, we're starting a TikTok and Instagram page where we do TikTok trends, my mom and I. And she's annoying, so she'll be entertaining. I love her. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I'm going to tell you right now, as somebody who's spiritual, I think a lot of our relatives are just fucking mad at us that we're cutting people off, but also I think they get it in some circumstances. But my circumstances are not that extreme. My family is pretty normal. My mom just happens to be Republican, and pretty much everybody else. But that's their business. That's their business. It's not mine. I just wanted to know how I could move on, and I was meditating. I had their little candles going. It was all witchy up in this bitch. So I was meditating on it, and My papa used to think the funniest little details were just a riot. Like he would rewind movies sometimes to show us these little details and be like, look, look, look. In the movie My Best Friend's Wedding, when they're singing together forever, that's how it must be to live without you. Yeah, you know that song, the Dionne Warwick song? There's this guy with oven mitts on his hands and our lobster claws, and he's like swaying them back and forth. And I don't know why, but I thought that was like the funniest thing in the world. And now when I watch that movie, I always like look for the lobster claws because it's just a sweet little memory. I was thinking about it and I just thought, aside from the fact that if these Department of Education cuts and all this crazy ass shit goes down, my family has to be there to support me. At the end of the day, they're the only ones who support me. They're the only ones who like know these little details about life, you know, our memories together, the lobster claw hands, swaying back and forth, just stupid ass shit like that. So I was like, okay, I want confirmation. For some reason, I brought up these loafers that I had in second grade, and I knew that my mom was going to think that they were either this that they were either silver or that I don't know. I knew that she was going to say something that had to do with these silver tennis shoes that I had after them in the third grade. Anyway, that is exactly how the conversation went down, and that's what I saw in my meditation. Shebang! So, anyway, your family is the only ones who are going to know things like that. Like, my mom's the only person who's going to mourn a pair of loafers that I had in the second grade with me when I can't find the perfect pair now in 2024. I just want my loafers from 1997. Is that too much to fucking ask? Ah! I probably got them at Payless. I think now is a good time to remember like the little details of why you love your family, why they're important to you. Figure it out because it's really hard to love people. It's like so hard to love people. I'm an asshole. It's hard to love me. I'm well aware, okay? I know I'm hard to love. And so are they. They're motherfuckers. I got it from somewhere. Next week, I want to go over a subject that I'm really awkward about, even though I'm going to be 35 fucking years old soon. Um, I just reached a year of celibacy because I centered men too much and I did weird addictive things. And I want to talk about it and how it has really healed my outlook on shit. Like, I just love it. And I can't wait. I'm also a little nervous. Family members, please don't listen next week. I'll shit my pants. Just please don't. I'll be so mortified. And I hope that you're also mortified if you thought about listening. Ugh. I mean, I know you are. Okay, enough of that. So to close out, I wanted to face a fear that I have this week because I heard an interesting fact. I am scared of whales, like so scared of whales, like hate them. In case you're wondering, it's called cetophobia. I looked it up on Google and it is a real fucking thing, bitch. I guess orcas they follow trends. And in the 80s, they wore salmon heads as hats, and they're doing that again. And I thought that was interesting. That's funny as fuck. Anyway, see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, bitches.